collection. I'm creating one class. Collection API. What is collection APIs and why it is very popular? What is the use of it? When we declare an array, I told you I am declaring a string array. You can declare for any data types. As of now, I am declaring. I mean, saying my collection APIs also you can declare for any data type. As of now, I am declaring for string. If I am not aware what are the values will be there inside that string, what I told equal to new string 4 or 5. See, I have to declare. But the problem with that is it is going to occupy the memory. Okay, so you might be writing some complex program where you need a lot of memories and all. Just think about it. I told you, you go to Google, Selenium, print and tell me how many links are there. You don't know if you type Google, there might be 100 links, 150 links. How are you going to handle it? You are going to very That's what you don't want to do. That is the reason I don't want to waste my memory. So for that, Java came up with something called collection APIs. There are different collection APIs are there. Okay. So list, set, hash table. These are the common collection APIs. So instead of that, I can declare a list. See, let me declare list my list equal to list is an interface. Inside that there are two classes are there, array list, linked list. So normally we need array list, okay, for our program. Okay, so I talk about interface, don't worry. What I'm doing, I'm declaring list equal to new array list. So you create the object of array list class. You have to import it from Java util package. Which package? Java util. Okay, so I have declared. Now I'm writing my list dot size. Where it's giving means it's not going to occupy any memory. That's the advantages of collection APIs. Until and unless you enter some element, it's not going to occupy any memory. Okay. So in earlier we used to use like this list, and then you can enter dot. There is one method called add. And idea. I'm writing, I'm getting 1. Can you see size is 1 now? $20. If I run it, can you see size 2 now? As soon as you enter the element, it's going to occupy the memory. That's advantages of list. Earlier, the list was like this. In Java 5, what they did, they told you can restrict user what kind of data type they can enter. What kind of data type user can enter. Here you can enter, see, integer, string, everything. So to restrict user, you can see they told I can't use this. This is for method. I can't use this bracket also. This is for method body. I can't use this bracket also. This is for what is this is for array. So they told only left is this one. So they came up in Java 5. They told okay, you have to declare like this and you have to enter the value. Like I am declaring string. Here also, then you have to say string. Now I am restricting this list. I am telling them you can enter only string here. Now see, I am getting error message when I enter 20. This way I can restrict what kind of data type you can enter. India, say Japan, saving it, running it. The list size is 2. So like this, let me enter India, Japan, USA, Germany, and maybe UK. I'm running it. List size is 5. Can you see? I'm writing India again, running it. List size is 6. So you can enter duplicate element also inside the list. Now, every element, again you can access it with the help of index. First element is in index 0. Second one is in 1. Third one is in 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can access by index. What I should write? My list dot get. Get is the method through which you can access. So it's saying you have to pass the index. I am passing 3. Run it. See Germany. I am passing 2. Run it. See USA. Can you see? This is the way you can run it. You can print the particular element from the list with the help of index. Now I want to print all the index. What I should do? I can create a loop, right? For integer I equals to 0, I less than, not less than equal to, right? Same for array also. My list dot size I plus plus. Instead of get 2, I'll write get I. Same as array. It will be get 0, get 1, get 2, get 3, get 4, get 5. If I run it, see India, Japan, USA, Germany, UK, India. That's how you can print the element from a list. Clear? There is one more way you can print. That is called for each loop. For each loop. So how you can do? Some people call it advanced for loop. Some people call it smart for loop or something like this. So what is for each loop? You can use for each loop with the list. You can't use it normally. So in for each loop, what do we normally write? We need to write for. Here, we have to write what is the data type of the list. Using for each loop, you can print all the elements from a list. So what's the data type? String, right? Inside that list. So I can write string. Now you can give any variable, say L colon, which one? Which list you wanted to point? My list. That's it. I am printing L. What is happening? You don't need get and all. What is happening in this case, when I created a list, basically I am creating a list like this. List name is my list. Here I am entering all the values. India, Germany, Japan, maybe UK, USA, and all this stuff. So I created a for loop. For loop will executing, one by one and is executing the list. When you create for each loop, you write the data type. What is the data type of the list? In my list, the data type is string. And you write L colon my list. What is happening? One pointer. Okay, this is for each loop. One pointer L gets created and pointing to the first element of the list. And good thing is, you don't have to write, I less than this condition, how many times list needs to execute an increment or decremental operator. He is smart enough, he will execute this for loop. He will go one by one. But one more thing is, L will point to the first element plus it will hold the value of that element also. It will hold the value also. In case of I, it is just the index. It is, going one by one. But in case of L, so I have to write get I. In case of L, it will just point to the first element and hold the value also, whatever the value is there. If it is India, it will say India. So that is the reason you can see I have printed only L, not mylist.getL. Only L, because it is holding the value. What L will do, he will automatically go to the next element and it will hold the value. So next time for loop will print the next element. It will go next element, hold the value. It will go next element, hold the value. It will go next element and hold the value. So every time it will hold the value of that element. So if you print L, that is enough. It is going to print all the elements. Once he will come, he will say list is empty. He, travel through all the element. He will automatically exit from the loop. You don't have to tell him when he need to exit. Okay. So basically, to declare anything, not only L, you can declare X, Y, Z also. So I just write L because it's a list L. So you have to declare the data type. This is called for each loop. L colon my list. So it will point it to the first element of the my list, nothing but India. Then it will go to the next element, Japan, and it will hold the value of Japan. It will go to the next element, USA. It will hold the value of USA, Germany, UK, India. Then it will hold also. Then when it will go to the next element, it will say list is empty. He is done. He will automatically come out. You don't have to mention any condition when he need to come out, like normal for loop. You don't have to tell him how to increment and all. But here you can't do any decrement. If I run it, so it's printing. So that this is the advantage. But disadvantage is that I want to execute only from 3 to 5. That you can't do here. You can do it here, but not this kind of list. This kind of for loop with for each loop. Okay. Clear what is for each loop? So you will see we'll be using for each loop. I mean, not only we, everywhere you go, you will see people are using for each loop with the list. Yeah, Ankit.
Abhishek, one doubt. So we have used mylist.size, right?
Yeah.
Can't we use mylist.length?
No,
Like in array,
because
we have
these are
used
the method they have
mylist.length, right?
created inside the array list.
Okay.
Okay, these are the
Okay. Okay.
method.
So. Uh-huh.
Like in training we have a method called organization. You might get a
Mm-hmm.
method called address info. So I can't call the address. I have to call address information.
Okay. So that's already.
Nothing but just the
Oh,
method
that.
they have created in that name.
Also, the method name size is already created in ArrayList, is it?
Yeah, these all are inbuilt, right? We are not creating anything.
Oh, okay. 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 Mm-hmm.
So you have to do like this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is for each loop. Now there is one more collection API that is called set. So set, how to write? Same way, set. So let me declare string only. My set equal to new has set. Okay, so set inside set there is a class called has set. Alright. Okay, sorry, S is capital. See, it's showing. It's not allowing me to import because he's not finding any class with the name has set. So he's not able to create an object. So from where all these things are coming, all these things are coming from JRE, right? That's why I told. If JRE is not there, library files are not there, you cannot do all this stuff. See, he's saying change it to has set. S is capital. I wrote small letter. See. So has set is also the same way it's creating. I'll give the name as my set. Okay. Now my set dot size. If I run it, same. The size is 0. Can you see? The size is 0. Now my set dot add. You can add it. I'm writing India. The question will be, what is the difference between set and list? The size is 1. I can write size of the set. I guess size of the set is 1. Let me do the same thing what I did here. Instead of my list, it will be my set. See, the size is 5. I'm writing India again. If I run it, see, the size is still 5. So that's the difference between set and list. In the set, you cannot enter any duplicate element. Okay, but in the list, you can enter. That is the first difference between set and list. So it will be the question in the interview. What is the difference between set and list? In the set, you can't enter any duplicate element. Now, how to print all the elements from the set? Okay, so can you try using the for loop the same way I did it for list? This one or this one. You try it out and let's see if you are getting the output or not. One more way you can do that, you can use it with the list also. There is a class in Java called Iterator. Okay, there is a class in Java called Iterator. Using Iterator, you can iterate through each and every element. Okay, so this is a set. Here I have different element. Here is one element, here is one element, here is one element. Now if you create a iterator, I am writing iterator, you declare string x equal to my set dot iterator. So let me import iterator from Java util package. So I have created iterator x. What is happening when I create iterator? One pointer like L, but iterator gets created outside of the set L x. It's not the first element. It's the outside of this set. One pointer gets created outside of this set. Okay, x. It's like a pointer in C, C++. We don't have pointer concept in Java, but just think about it like this. One pointer gets created outside of the set. If you want to move it, you have to write x dot next. What next is going to do? It's going to move this x to the first element of the set, and it will hold the value of that element also, like L. It is moving and holding. So when I print L, I am getting India and all these things. But if I use this for loop, I have to write dot get I. Here it is moving and holding the first element. So x dot next should print the first element of the set. Okay, it is moving and holding. So when I run it, can you see it's printing USA? But it's not printing India, right? Again, let me print x dot next. Again, x dot next, what it will do? It will move to the next element and it will hold the value of that element. So if I run it, it's printing Japan. Alright, what is happening? It's not printing India. Again, let me print and run it. It's printing UK. Now here, what is happening? That is the second difference between set and list. In the set, you cannot store the element in proper order. That can store the element in its own order, and you cannot control it. Okay, the set you cannot control it. Set is storing the element in its own order. If I want to print all the elements, what I need to do? There is a function called hasNext. X dot hasNext. So hasNext, see what it is going to do. It is going to give you boolean value whether there is any element or not. If next is true, true if next. Means if the next x dot next is true, if the x dot next there is some element, it will return you true. If the elements are there is no element, it will return you false. hasNext will tell you whether there is any element or not next. So what I'll do in this case, I can use while loop. So I'll tell as soon as there is any element, you execute this. Okay, got it. So I just put a condition x dot hasNext. Is there is an element or not? hasNext will give you true. As soon as this is true, while loop will execute, right? And it will enter into the while loop, and in the while loop I am printing x dot next, x dot next. So every time it is going to print. Basically here I am writing again and again, here using the while loop I am writing. Once this is false, it will come out of this while loop. If I run, you can see the output: USA, Japan, UK, Germany, India. any random order you can see. Can you see? So in the set, that is the difference between set and list. Set, you cannot enter duplicate element. List, you can enter. In the set, you cannot store the element in proper order. But in the list, the way you enter, elements get stored in that order.
Abhishek, can we use this iterator with list, my list dot
Yeah, you
iterator?
can use. Try it out. That's what I showed you both the example. You
Okay.
try for loop with set and you try iterator with list.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the two collection APIs which is very important and which will be required and you will be using it. Set and list, and the questions will be what is the difference between set and list. And there is something called hash table. So that that is not required, but in case just interview purpose, I'll explain you. There is something called hash table. What is hash table? Hash table, okay. I'm writing now. You can figure it out easily. Hash table, the h equal to new hash table. Change has okay. T is small letter. Okay. So hash table is by seeing itself you can figure it out. Hash table is something like this. So this will be the hash table. In the hash table, you have a pair of keys and values. So first column will be the key, the second column will be the value. Like, for example, first column will be the name, age, maybe name, age, uh, address, or maybe another value, name, age, address, and organization name. Here will be the value. Say John 30, address is say BTM, organization is say IB, IBM. Something like this. Okay. So how to enter? Okay, this is also same. ht dot size. If I run it, the size is 0. This is also not going to occupy any memory. So these are the collection APIs are all like this. They are not going to waste your memory. That's why these are very popular. So what I'll write ht dot, the keyword is put. First you have to write keys, then you have to write values. Like you are writing name, John. Okay. If I run it, the size is 1. So you have to enter keys and values. Let's write 3. Your name, age. I have declared, so let me declare everything. Name, age, address, VTM. Let me enter 3 values. If you run it, 3. If I do it again, name equal to again say Tom, for example, run it. See, the size is still 3. Because when you enter keys and values, it will check whether key is already there or not. Since the key is already there here, So what he will do, he will override the value. He will remove John and he will put here Tom. Okay, because same key cannot be duplicate. Values might be duplicate, but key cannot be duplicate. Otherwise, when you will call name, it will get confused. It will call John or Tom. So you cannot enter duplicate key. But if I enter capital N and run it, then it makes sense. There are 4. Okay. If I want to print the values, I am printing. How to print? ht dot get. You have to write the key name. Can you see? I am writing name. Age, address. Name, age, address. If I run it, see I am getting the output John 30 BTM. So you call the key and it will print the values only. See here, if I write it, ht dot put name equal to Tom. After line number 55, it's actually overridden the values of John. So now the name value you will get Tom. It will not be John because I overridden the values. Okay. So this is hash table. Hash table is nothing but the pair of keys and values. That's it. This is what is collection API. Clear? Any more question?
It's clear, Abhishek.
Okay. So make sure you are clear about the list and set concept because those are the 2 collection APIs which we are going to use.
Abhishek, in simple term, collection API, how do we uh,
Sorry?
the collection API definition? I mean, like in simple terms, how can we tell?
Collection API definition.
Yeah.
So, there is no such definition. You can say collection APIs are the set of APIs which, Java created, set of classes and interface Java created, through which, it is mainly created for managing the memory properly. Like set, list, array list, linked list, set and tree, other lot of things are there, hash table. Okay. So these are
Oh,
created in such a way that it is not going to occupy the memory. Dynamically, those classes are going to occupy the memory. Whenever there is an element, it's going to occupy. If there is no element, it's not going to occupy the memory. It is not going to waste your memory.
okay.
Okay. So to overcome the drawbacks of array and all, they came up with this collection APIs.
Okay, Abhishek.
Abhishek, can we use import java.util.star?
Here, that also you can do. So if you write java.util instead of array list, so I am declaring array list, here I am declaring hash list. You saw, right? We are importing each and everything by putting our cursor. So if
Yeah.
you write star, you don't have to declare each and everything, separately. You are saying whatever is there inside that you can call everything.
Oh.
I commented it out and I am not getting any error message. Star means inside java.util package you can, import anything.
Okay.
You don't have to
And
import one by
Abhishek,
one.
and
Hmm.
this interface is this is how it is declared, a list and the string within the.
Interface, we will talk about it in details actually.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So as of now, just I am telling you write the interface name, then any, object reference and a new object of the class.
okay.
Okay. This part we are aware, right? Up to this part. We can create an object of a class. But yeah, this part we are not aware, you know, you have to write the interface name also. You can write. You can, okay, see, this thing and this thing is same. This thing and these things both are same. No difference. You are creating the object of the array list that you are aware, right? We did it already a lot of times. Or you can write with the interface also. Okay, I'll talk about interface, you will get to know.
Okay.
Okay, that's what the collection. Okay. So